What is up, everybody? I am Ant, and I'm joined by my good friend and longtime co-host. Introduce yourself,
Carlos,
sir.
Carlos Caribbean cool.
Things are staying cool over there, and I almost called you Carlito's Way again.
Probably knows what.
Copyright infringement, everybody. Uh, we are the Uncensored Pro Wrestling Podcast, and we are here covering WWE Clash at the Castle live. It was last Saturday, September 3rd, and it was sort of the second pay-per-view in the new era of WWE with Triple H at the helm of things. Before we dive into the actual show, what did you think? Did you like it? Did you think it could have been better? What were your overall thoughts on the pay-per-view?
Everything was great. Literally no issues with it at all.
I had like,
The
of
only
course,
thing I didn't
me.
really understand was the ending, but we'll talk about the very end, like the not the match, but like the very, very, very ending that I kind of like thought was weird, but like, oh yeah, we'll talk about that when we get to that. But
There were some things that I felt like could have been a bit different, but nothing that I could honestly really hate on. I did like the stage, well, not the stage, but like the LED sort of Videotron thing was set up as a
honestly, I don't
castle.
really pay attention to that stuff. I just really, I mean, I know some people do, but I don't really care about that. Like
I
as long
loved it. I like all the setups because it makes for me like it makes it feel like it's
I
more
was kind of disappointed
important.
they didn't have any pyro, but that's fine.
Yeah, I
Just
think
pyro.
there were a couple of things that are disappointing. Like there's a moment where they were introduced, they were talking about SummerSlam 92, and they had mentioned British Bulldog's family was there, and they had mentioned that Bret Hart was there, and the
Yeah,
camera
Bret Hart looked like he was just like not into it at all. He just looked
yeah,
very
he
like
looked like a
I hate
corpse.
Bret Hart, honestly.
They
I'm
showed
sorry.
him, but they didn't.
Any Bret Hart fans that are in here, I'm sorry. I can't stand that man. He's just so oh, got always a fucking straight face. Like we can't be excited for once or something. Like, geez,
He's the
they're they're giving
execution.
you they're giving you credit right now. Like, are you serious right now? That's just not caring. I feel
Well,
like
they
he's just
didn't
been through.
even
I
show
feel
the
like
British Bulldogs family. They didn't
I
show
feel
them.
I feel like he's Bret Hart's been through so much shit that he's just like over everything.
He's like, you know what? I'll make an appearance for you guys. There's a funny meme going around where it shows like where it does have like a small smile on his face, and it says it looks like he farted and the person behind him smells because the person behind him has. I'll show you. It's a lady. She has like her nose covered. Um,
Apparently, he's like under a legend contract, so like he is like under contract by WWE. He's getting paid by them, for like for just sitting at home.
well,
So
there's a
like
lot of
he's like
people.
he's under pretty much a Kurt Angle and Mick Foley contract, same things that they have. Legend contracts where like they make appearances when they ask you to,
Yeah,
but if you take bumps, you get paid more money apparently.
it was great seeing Kurt Angle this past week on Raw in Pittsburgh.
He looked terrible, honestly. You don't think so? I feel like
No, I thought
he
he
looked
looked. I'm surprised. I thought he looked good.
I think he looked really like I don't know. That's just me. Yeah, I think he
I
looked
mean,
terrible.
I'm
Like
thinking of him when he would come out in the friggin' suit and he just be like you so like as the GM. That's what I'm comparing him to. So for me, seeing him out there in the athletic, and I also think I'm feeling a little nostalgic after watching his Legends episode on A&E. Uh, just sort of learning more about what he went through in his life, and um, yeah, it was good to see him though. But I mean, I don't think he was that bad. I mean, I mean, he is older. He's in his 50s. He hasn't wrestled a match in a while. Um, you know, he looks pretty good. He doesn't have to really work out, and he looks good. But I hear you. So this is the first pay-per-view in about 3 decades that has been, well, not first pay-per-view, three, yeah, pretty much. It's the first not so there were English pay-per-views like Insurrection and Rebellion, but they were only seen in the United Kingdom. You couldn't get them in the United States. So technically the
I
last
feel like the
ever.
UK fans are always the best.
Yes, they love it. They don't get to see as much, so they go all out.
And the
Um,
crowds like the reactions for everything. Like when we talk about the Bailey, the 6 man tag, like the way that they were like getting doing the Bailey theme song, like hey, they were all into it.
mhm.
And then like Bailey was like her reaction to like shut up or
Yeah,
like boo
she
or
was
whatever.
very playing up that character, but it was a big fight feel because it hadn't been since 1992 that WWE had a pay-per-view
So
live
like
from the United
they
Kingdom.
be doing they be doing like these like Raws and Smackdowns in the UK all the time.
Yep, they do. But no stadium pay-per-view. The last one was SummerSlam 92, so they were trying to sort of make history. And I said this in the prediction episode, which you guys can check out in our archives, that I feel like with them being in England, because they haven't gone to them in a long time, the crowd was going to bring the energy. I don't know if you felt it, but or if you're like this, but whenever I go to a live show, I'm like, we got to bring it because I want them to come back. I want to be loud. I want to have fun. And I think that's what a lot of these fans were doing. They took the opportunity to show WWE that they're going to be a loud, boisterous crowd. And
They deserve a WrestleMania.
yeah, I mean, why not? I mean, I think I don't
That would be
necessarily.
like really that would be very hard though because it'll be like different time zones for us.
Yeah,
But I
I
don't I
mean,
honestly so I want you guys' opinion. Leave it in the comments. Do you guys
yeah,
prefer evening pay-per-views or in the like middle early day pay-per-views?
I'm more of an
I,
evening person.
yeah, I mean they're both cool, but honestly I like the early ones. Because like, you have the rest of the you have like the rest of the day to like digest everything that happened. Like and see because like right away when the pay-per-view finishes normally like go to sleep, right? Like after in the evening, like in the
Yeah.
early in the day, like there's like a few hours left, like you that like I don't know. I feel like I don't know. I like them better,
I
honestly.
think the thing is that for
Like
me,
I think it should be like more like football. You know how like football has like games like early in the day.
yeah,
I feel like it should be more like that. I don't
I
know.
for me the problem was having it be on a Saturday and having it be so early on in the day that I feel like it takes too, and this is just my opinion, that it took too long for us to get to Raw. Like I feel like we're at Raw now, but I feel like it's been like 4 days since Clash happened, and it's only been two.
So now they have more time to get stuff like if they want to like change any storylines or like fix anything, they have like time. They have more
True,
time to write. Yeah, I don't
true.
know. I mean, like if when it's on a Sunday and like at nighttime, they gotta like right away like start something for Raw.
I
Like now,
definitely like
like
it better on Saturday. I just don't know if I like it being at 4 o'clock in the afternoon or 1 o'clock or whatever time it was. That was 4 o'clock was Worlds Collide, which is weird because Worlds Collide wasn't even in England. So
yeah,
interesting that they had it.
I really thought they were gonna be in Cardiff. I
No,
thought
they are
so.
in
I thought they
Florida.
were gonna be in the same arena that they had the Flash show, and I guess not. Literally.
Well, we don't have much. We're going to take a break in a moment, but let's first talk about the first match of the night. We have the 6 woman tag match. We're seeing the Raw Women's Champion Bianca Belair, Alexa Bliss, and Asuka taking on. I'm going to call them this now because we saw it on their Titantron. It seems like the stable's name is now Damage Control, and it's a team of Bailey, Io Sky, and Dakota Kai. I do have something I want to say here, and this is really random. You're probably not going to care because you're not someone who tends to care about this type of thing, but maybe you did. I felt a little weird seeing Bianca being the first one to come out with her being the champion. I feel like you saved the best for last in terms of entrances in my eyes. So I was surprised that Asuka out of the three was the last one. Not saying that Asuka is the least greatest, but like she's not the main champion right now. So I would have seen
I see what you're
Alexa.
I see what you're saying.
You see what I'm saying? Like it's weird. It's like she's the main champion. Like, and it's not Bianca's fault. She can't choose, the placement of when she enters. But I
Like
just go ahead.
Extreme with Liv and Shayna. They had Shayna come out first because she's a
Mm,
talent. Liv comes out after because she's a
yeah,
champion.
that's
But
what I'm saying. You save the big pop for the end.
this wasn't a championship match though. It was just tag team. Like
I know.
who's the leader of the team is Bianca, so Bianca's gonna come out first because she's the leader.
I know, but it's just like she's a champion. Like the champion needs to
I
get
feel
it.
like if it's not on the line, it shouldn't like it doesn't really count. I guess I don't know.
I hear you. I just think like if you're gonna have a football game, right? Most people know the quarterbacks, right? And so um for me, if there's not much pop and circumstance for that quarterback, I mean, it's different because football is a team sport. I just think that when you're number one, you should be showcased as number one.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? But it's not that big of a deal. Whoever comes out comes out. So let's just give some quick notes on the match, and then we'll take a quick break and come back. So all 6 women brawl to start. Asuka, Alexa, and Bianca nail a triple suplex to Damage Control.
One thing I'm glad. Let me just add something real quick.
Yeah.
One thing I'm glad is that they finally had a Io and Oscar like have their moment. Like they're like they fought for a while. Like they were going at it for a while, right? They had like their little
Sure.
moments.
Yeah. They and you know what was cool? Um,
Like I would like to see them have like a one-on-one feud. Honestly, Io and Oscar. I feel like that would be like a banger right there. Or
totally.
tag team. Like Io and Oscar would be like great too.
Well, they were a tag team in Japan, and I think they mentioned that in during this match. So
But I'm talking about like now, like maybe like as them as a tag team now would be like so cool. I feel.
yeah, but they kind of did that the Kabuki Warriors, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But anyways, so Bianca nails a standing moonsault to all three of her opponents. Bliss lands a code red to Io Sky, and Dakota nails a big kick to Bliss and gets a 2 count. Asuka hits Io with back fist and a German suplex and gets a 2. Bliss and Asuka nail a double superplex to Bailey, and that was a really rough landing, it seemed like. Io nails a springboard moonsault to Bliss and Asuka outside of the ring. Bianca then military presses Dakota Kai and then hits her with a fallaway slam and then a huge power bomb. Bailey holds Bianca Belair's braid and Dakota nails a huge scorpion kick. Uh, Bailey nails a rose plant and Io Sky hits a moonsault. Bailey makes the pin and Damage Control get the victory. Give me your quick thoughts, if you can, about the match. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Was it the right team that won? I thought this team was going to win. So, what about you? What did you think?
I also thought this team was gonna win. I enjoyed the match a lot. I feel like it did everything that I needed to because like I feel like the Dakota Kai and Io Sky losing those that tag team title tournament was like really like a setback for them. So
Mm-hmm.
like this kind of like brought them back into the picture, you know. And I'm glad that like they did the Bailey pinned the champion, so it seems like they're gonna be having Bailey feud with Bianca for the title next because like I'm pretty sure it's gonna be like, oh, I pinned you,
Yeah,
so she be the one like man, we knew this was gonna happen, right? Like it was we
yeah,
knew Bailey came back for a title. But I thought that Io Sky and Dakota Kai were gonna get the tag team titles first and then like Bailey would get her belt. But like, you know, now we're gonna see Bailey and Bianca feud because we've seen this before. We'd seen them feud before, but like and Bailey was actually gonna have a rematch, but then she got injured. So like they didn't have that match, but now like we're gonna run it back.
yeah.
I
And we're
mean,
getting a more vicious Bailey too, in this time around. But speaking of coming back, we are going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to be covering the rest of this huge card, Class at the Castle. Did I say class? Clash at the
no,
Castle for review. Go ahead, Carlos. What were you saying, man?
no, you said Clash, I think.
Oh, I did. Okay, perfect. Then yes. Clash at the Castle. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. Welcome back. And we've just covered that Damage Control match, Damage Control getting the win. Excited about that. You mentioned Bailey got the pin on Bianca Belair. So these two definitely down the line will have another match. We then get a promo for Cody Rhodes.
Where does Becky play into this stuff? That's very interesting too.
Hmm. I don't think we've ever seen a three-way between the three of them, so I'd be excited for that.
Because Becky's injury isn't that terrible. I mean, it's only like a shoulder injury, right? She should be back anytime soon.
Yeah, she should be back soon. I'd probably say by Survivor Series or whatever the pay-per-view is in December, if we even get one, because I know we have day one in January again. Uh, we then get a promo where we see Drew McIntyre backstage with Tyson Fury. They're shaking hands, and we then see Fury is in the crowd. We then get some more footage of SummerSlam 1992, Bret Hart taking on the British Bulldog. And we talked about Bret Hart a little bit earlier. We had seen him in the crowd. So fans were happy to see him. And now we have the Intercontinental title match. The champion Gunther with Ludwig Kaiser taking on Sheamus with the Brawling Brutes.
But wait. They brought back Imperium.
They sure did. Kaiser is introducing Gunther, but before he does, he introduces Giovanni Vinci, and Imperium is back together, which I'm excited about. Here are some notes, then we'll talk about Imperium and the match. So Butch nails a moonsault to Imperium outside of the ring. The Brutes fight with Imperium, and eventually they are all separated and sent, backstage. Sheamus nails two suplexes, and then he tosses Gunther into the ring steps. Gunther slams Sheamus onto the steps, and he chops Sheamus hard many times, and then he kicks Sheamus as well. He being Gunther nails a big boot, and then Gunther applies a Boston crab. I should call it the Austrian crab. Uh, Gunther continues in control with the body slam outside, and he tosses Sheamus over the announce table. This is the first time I've really seen Sheamus manhandled like this. Sheamus
Sheamus,
then slams.
Sheamus's chest was like all like
Oh my
red
god,
and
it was
like
yes. He slams
terrible.
Gunther onto a table, and then Sheamus lands the 10 beats. They fight outside, and then he lands an additional 15 blows to Gunther's chest. Sheamus lands a high knee to Gunther's head. Gunther applies a sleeper, but Sheamus is able to hit a white noise, and he gets a two. Sheamus then goes to kicks Gunther off the top rope, and he nails a Celtic cross off the top, but gets a two. Sheamus goes for a bro kick, but his back gives out, and Gunther nails a power bomb and a huge lariat, and Gunther is still your Intercontinental Champion. After the match, the fans clap hard for Sheamus, and he gets a standing ovation from the crowd. I knew Gunther was going to win. So tell me about your thoughts on the match and Imperium being back, what it could mean.
I thought that was a great decision to bring them back together. And I'm glad that Gunther retained too. I also thought he was gonna retain. But the ending was like it seemed like the way like they were all cheering for Sheamus, it seemed like Sheamus was like done. The way that I don't know, I felt the vibes like it felt like Sheamus is like done. Like the way that they were like cheering for him and stuff. Like I don't know maybe if Gunther and him are done, but like it felt like it was like a send off for Sheamus. I don't know.
I think they were,
Hopefully not, but like
I agree. I think they were giving him his like
I like how there was like
sort of
this fan that like
respect.
gave him like a replica belt, like the WWE Championship. They had it around his shoulder, and Sheamus like just holding it.
Yeah.
It was funny. I like that part.
I do think that they had a hell of a match, and I think that it was the right time for the crowd to stand up. That was their real reaction. They really felt like Sheamus
Yeah,
gave it his all.
they murdered each other. I never seen Sheamus being up so bad like that.
His
Like
chest was bloody.
usually Sheamus is like the dominant one in like matches.
Yes, a
I
hundred.
guess like Sheamus is like the face in that match or in, like that rivalry kind of.
I
We
guess
haven't
I
seen
think he's the
we haven't said
underdog.
we haven't seen like a babyface Sheamus in like forever, right? Like since like he was world heavyweight champion.
I just think people tend to like the guy who doesn't like I said, the underdog who doesn't have the advantage. Sheamus seems compared to Gunther.
But this seems like the right time for Sheamus to turn face. Don't you like maybe like if Sheamus turns face, that means his whole team would have to turn face too.
We will see. Speaking of turning face, which doesn't really have a segue to anything, we got a promo from the Usos who, listen, a lot of people keep making fun of them saying that they weren't allowed out of the country into the country again, which is probably true. Um,
There was a promo from the Usos.
well, not it wasn't like they weren't talking. It was just highlights of their career and then with the bloodline, and it was just they kept showing different highlights of different wrestlers throughout the night.
So
Um,
they said that the Usos couldn't because they were like not medically cleared. And
no, it's
they
not
said
because
The Usos and Sami Zayn weren't medically cleared. That's what they said. But
yeah, but we all know why the Usos didn't go to. Remember when Sami Zayn was there and he was on the phone with the Usos supposedly? That was
Why didn't Sami go?
to keep up with the storyline. Like Paul Heyman, he was there, but he didn't show up.
Wait, Paul Heyman was there backstage.
Yeah, there is pictures of him talking to Roman with Michael Hayes and someone else was there. I'll send it to you.
But
He
wait,
was there.
were the Usos there or no?
No, because they're not legally allowed in the country because of the DUIs.
Oh my God! Stop.
I swear to God. I
So
swear to God.
I mean, Jay's had DUIs too, right?
They both have, yeah.
Oh wow, that's
I was
fucked
just
up.
reading this is completely different, and I didn't know this is completely huge
So
segue.
how are they able to go to Saudi Arabia for that show that they went to in Crown
Because
Jewel?
that country said that it was okay. They were allowed in that country. Like right
That's
now,
really fucked up, honestly.
I know right now, and I mean, again, like I said, it's completely
I mean, I
different.
guess I understand, but like that's kind of like that's their job, you know. How are you gonna like I don't know. That's like
Well, to be fair, don't drink and drive,
no wonder
right?
they didn't have like a storyline for their tag titles coming. I'm sure if they didn't have that DUI, but they knew this. They knew they weren't gonna be allowed out there. Probably that's why they didn't have
That's
a
probably
storyline.
why they did the whole angle where they got destroyed on SmackDown because they probably knew, okay,
That's
we
what no
can't.
like or like no. I feel like they knew like maybe a month in advance because like if I feel like if they were able to go, they would have been in a storyline for their tag titles.
Yeah,
Like, come on, they could have been in a rivalry with the Hit Row or something else, Alpha Academy, somebody. But like,
yeah.
you know, they probably just knew
But
that
and
they
this
were.
is why I kind of and to be honest, this is kind of why I get mad. It's not their fault, but when you fuck up and you're a champion, it then downgrades the title and everybody else that could be in the picture because we didn't get
But
a tag team title
I
match
get
at the show.
the last CY. I guess Jimmy wasn't tag team champions yet. Like they
No,
literally
but
a
I'm
week,
saying
literally like
now.
a few weeks later, they won it. But like you know, he I don't know. He was a part of that big storyline. He should have known better not to
That's
like.
what I'm saying. But not only that, but like you just like, come on, man.
But
Like
there are also rumors that Jimmy wasn't the one. It was Naomi that had the
I know, but
thing. But like,
that wasn't come. That would be like me saying like I smoke pot every day, but the pot that was on me today was Carlos's. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like
yeah.
how far like this dude has gotten mad, and it's
No,
nothing
but
against
honestly,
him.
I don't want to blame them either because like I don't know. I don't want to.
I hear you, but what I'm saying, the only reason why I say this is because drunk driving kills people.
We
I'm
all
not
don't know the
saying they did that.
we're just talking. We don't know the full story.
But
We're
there's
not
you
them.
can if you go on Google and you look up their court record,
No,
it will
I saw
tell
the
you.
video. I saw the video. I
But
don't
that's what I'm
know.
saying. Like it's like what all I'm saying is it's not like this is something where they're
We all
forced to
make
do it.
mistakes, you know. I
We get
guess
it, but like you're a grown it would be like I'm just asking, just put yourself in this position. I'm just think about it. Let's
so.
say you have an imaginary sister, okay?
Okay,
You have a sister and your sister gets hit by a drunk driver and dies. And
I'll be
G-
pissed. Yeah,
Jey Uso has fucked up before. He's gotten like 10, not really, but just saying, let's say he had like five or six other DUIs. You're gonna say
and
this
another thing,
dude,
like I get like okay, they gave just Jimmy a slap on the wrist, but like with Jeff Hardy, oh like they get him suspended off AEW, all this stuff. They do all this shit to him, like. But I mean, I don't know. I guess like they didn't really take it more seriously with Jimmy because they don't want to ruin the storyline. But like with
well,
Jeff
I think
Hardy,
the
with
problem becomes you can't control people either, like you can't. And also, if you look at it, WWE is known to protect their champions. If you
and
talk.
Jimmy literally just came back after when that happened.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, my thought on it is that you are a public figure. People look up to you, little kids look up to you, and the fact that you can't be a part of a wrestling event where you're making money because you want to spend your weekend drinking and driving, it
Yeah.
bothers me. Like there are people who take it seriously. And I'm not saying that they don't, but obviously, if you're constantly getting DUIs, you're not living a life that warrants being a champion. A champion is someone who learns from their mistakes and doesn't keep doing it. He keeps doing the same, and Jimmy too, both of them. They keep
Oh,
doing.
Jay's learned his lesson. He hasn't had one since like back, like he learned his lesson. You know how good shape he's in great shape. Jimmy doesn't get in good shape. You know how that's why Jimmy continues to wrestle with the shirt, and then Jay like you seen the shape that Jay is in. Like he cut out all the like the alcohol, and then like he's just getting ripped. The way that Jay's in great shape, but Jimmy just like I guess he doesn't listen. I don't know.
I just think, in my eyes, and I get they're humans because they have this platform and they don't owe nobody, but they kind of do. If you are a public figure and you are a part of these be a star rallies and the do this and the do that. And I'm not saying that you have to be perfect because nobody is. But if you keep choosing to drink and then get in behind the wheel and then you get arrested, how are you really a champion? A
I
champion
don't know.
is
I don't
someone
want
who
to. I
does.
don't want to like choose sides on this because like
I just my thing with the Usos is it makes me upset because they are
well, more
undeniably
Jimmy.
one of.
Don't say the Usos. Say Jimmy because like Jay
But
hasn't
Jay
like that.
had, but Jay did too. I mean,
But
to be,
that was like years ago though, man.
I know, but
He at least learned. Jimmy
well,
didn't.
let me look it up. Let me see when's the last
I
time he did.
remember they both had one together. That's the one that Jay was involved in, but Jay hasn't had one since then. The most recent one was Jimmy.
But it shouldn't even be the most recent. You know what I'm saying? No, it says, let's see, 2018. So Jay got arrested for a DWI in
Yeah, that's
Texas.
that's 2018. He learned his lesson from that.
And then we have
Jimmy had one literally in 2021.
2022. Yeah,
2022?
listen, April 2022. It
Jimmy had
says
another one?
video of WWE star Jimmy Uso being pulled over for suspicion in July was released on Wednesday. Yes. That's what I'm saying. He keeps as a champion. He called the
Whoa.
police officer an
That
asshole.
was last year though. No. Hold on.
Hang
I
on.
mean,
Hang
that
on.
was
It's
last
boss.
year.
This says, look, this article comes, I'll send it to you. It's from what is this website? I'll tell you what it's called. This is from www.al.com. This article is from April 27th. It says video of WWE star Jimmy being pulled over for suspicion of DUI in July was released Wednesday and revealed. So this incident happened in July of 2021, right? So
Yeah, but
listen,
the footage came out later on.
yes. So then it says the footage shows the officer telling Uso, "I'm hoping you beat it this time too." And then Uso snaps and the cop says, "I think you misunderstood. So I'm sorry. I was actually being nice, but I'm sorry." And Uso says, "Are you serious? Are you serious? Why would you say that?" Um, and then he says, "You're an asshole. You're the one that's worse. You made a remark you shouldn't have did." Basically, he was arrested on a misdemeanor DUI charge after failing field sobriety and breathalyzer tests. It says the test came back at 0.202 and 0.205, more than double the legal limit of 0.08. He was also cited for speeding and running a red light. He and his brother won you're right. You were with the whole timeline. He and his brother Jay won the titles for the fifth time at Money in the Bank 2 weeks after the video was shot. So he had won the title 2 weeks
The
after getting
seventh time.
arrested.
Seventh time.
And here it says fifth. It says, well, you got to remember they lost it. This is from 20. This is from April 2022. They had just re-won it again, I think.
No, they haven't lost. They haven't lost it since. Oh my God. No, they're seven time.
Hang
They're
on,
seven tag team
hang on, hang on,
champions. They
hang
haven't
on. Hang on.
lost it since they won it in Money in the Bank.
It says that they initially found him. He was driving 50 miles per hour, which isn't that bad. It says that it smelled of alcohol. They asked him to get out. They performed the field sobriety. Uh,
Move on.
but yes, this is the second DUI arrest for him in the last 2 years. And it dates
And
back to 2011. I mean, over 10 years, and you don't think you have.
I always side with the Usos. I honestly,
I know, but I just think like again, it says, yeah, it says dating back to his first arrest. He first got arrested in September 2011. He then got arrested again in March 2013, then
can
again
we
in
continue?
February 2019 for fighting with a cop, again in July 2019 for another DUI, again
You're just running him
in
down.
July 2021.
You're just running him
Because
down.
I'm
Like
just here's my problem. It's hard for me to sit here and have people say, like, well, Chris Benoit is a horrible person, and this person's a horrible person, and this person, when technically you're not killing, but you could kill somebody, including himself. If he doesn't stop this pattern of drinking and driving, this this chance, this opportunity to change his life might not come again. And I hope it does. But if you've been arrested going on since 2011, something's not right in your life, man. And he's got to figure it out before it's now we're done talking about that. Like I'm saying it because I wish them well. I'm saying this because they are undeniably one of the best tag teams of all time. So for me, it's hard because I really like them, but it's hard for me to really like them as people if this is what they're choosing to do with the amount of money and access that they have to the world. You know what I'm saying? Like these people could do anything they want. They're millionaires and they choose to blow all their shit doing this. But anyways, moving on. We now have I wish them well. I really do. We now have the WWE SmackDown Women's title on the line. The SmackDown Women's Champion Liv Morgan defending against Shayna Baszler. Here are some notes from this match. Liv gets on the ropes and Shayna pushes her off to the outside and tosses Liv into the railing. Liv Morgan nails a flying dropkick, a step up enziguri, and a springboard code breaker, which gets a 2. Liv applies an armbar, but Shayna is able to deliver a running knee, which again gets a 2 count. And Shayna applies a Kirifuda clutch and a single armbar. However, Liv nails in a code breaker and oblivion, and she retains the SmackDown Women's Championship. Liv Morgan, I had a feeling she was going to win. What did you think of the match? I feel like it went by a little bit too fast. What did you think?
Well, I'm glad that they finally building Liv Morgan like well. Yeah, I
Yep.
feel like her last title defense against Rousey was like terrible, but I'm glad they're finally building Liv Morgan well, like as a babyface champion. Oh, I'm just surprised that she won clean like that. Like
Me
she
too.
actually literally pinned her 1, 2, 3. Like it was. I guess the training with Riddle really helped her out.
I guess so.
She did train with Riddle like for the like couple weeks.
I will say though, now that she did beat her clean, I don't want to see her fight her at Extreme Rules because you just beat her clean.
Who, Shayna again?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, she's not gonna fight Shayna again. She'll probably fight like Natalia or something.
If she fights Shayna again, um,
And isn't Ronda Rousey's suspension over?
well, it is, but she had like put Adam Pearce in an arm drag or like an arm bar, and I don't know if she got in trouble for that or the storyline is she keeps just fucking people up. Um, so
Did you
my
hear that
thing,
promo from Adam Pearce by the way on SmackDown? That man went off. He told the fans to shut up. He said, oh, he nobody respects him for the stuff that he does here. He went off on everyone. He did
well,
not care.
he's gonna. I feel like they need to have a new authority figure. I think
Adam Pearce chose violence that day.
he sure did, and he got beat up. But yeah, I was happy to see Liv win. I do think it would have meant more for her if Shayna kicked out and was more of a hard fought victory. She hit her in Oblivion, and that was it.
Yeah, I
Whereas
mean, but
Shayna
they had
kept
like
coming
other
at her.
stuff. They had other stuff on the card. They had to like get to. I guess like
I get, but
it's
I
all
get
a
it.
time.
But
It's
come
all a
on,
time thing too. But I
come,
feel like I do believe you. I feel like they could have had like 10 more minutes to the match at least.
yeah. Or have like if they were going to do it like a quick match, have it be for a reason. Have Ronda come out and destroy her. Have something happen. But
Yeah,
I do have a feeling. Watch, you'll see Liv versus Shayna in an I Quit match or a submission match. Extreme Rules. Watch. Um, they
submission would be
should
cool.
do that against Ronda because then it would be okay. We're not doing pinfalls. We're gonna find out.
I just want to see Shayna versus Ronda. I feel like that's gonna be the end game. I think.
Yep, I would say that would be a. Or we still haven't seen, and I know I don't know how you feel about this. I mentioned this before when I was covering or we were covering WrestleMania. I don't know, but I believe that we should have gotten Becky versus Ronda because when Becky won the triple threat match at WrestleMania, the main event,
There
she
was some
pinned
con- there
Ronda.
there was some controversy to that too.
Exactly.
Like
There
her
was
currently like her shoulders weren't down like all the way or something, or like she kicked
mhm.
out.
That's
No, I
why
feel
I
like
was
Becky and Ronda are definitely gonna cross paths again, but it's just
yeah.
unfortunately they were
Maybe
back.
they'll save that for this upcoming WrestleMania because I was just surprised when Ronda didn't come after Becky because technically, like I said this when we were getting to WrestleMania, technically Charlotte never really did anything to Ronda. Like she beat her, but it really wasn't. It was like by disqualification.
No,
So
but I mean, Ronda eliminated Charlotte from the Royal Rumble.
I get it, but if you go back to Um,
So you're talking about like
prior to
from like
that,
year. You're thinking about like years ago, like going pan the past.
that was my problem. They had issues in like 2018 because remember
No,
Charlotte
like think
attacked her
about
at
it. Like
Survivor.
I think they have like legitimate issues like personally too. Maybe they don't want like that personal stuff like to get out because
But
like
they didn't talk about it. Like at least with Becky and Charlotte at Survivor Series, you knew there was like I feel like the thing is they were trying to have like storylines that happen. So like
no, well, like
what
I feel
was
like this like the Becky and Bianca thing needed to happen. So like it can like because like SummerSlam and
yeah,
like it
but I
needed to.
really didn't feel like I mean, unless you can tell me something I'm forgetting, what was their big beef? Like what was the one up that they had on each other? Because I felt like they kind of settled it. Basically, Charlotte beat up Ronda at Survivor Series. They fought at WrestleMania 35. Charlotte wasn't involved in the finish, so she kind of just was out of it. And then they started fighting again this year. My take was you have Ronda fight Becky because Ronda actually got pinned by Becky. Charlotte never beat Ronda. For me, Ronda has more to prove against Becky than she does against Charlotte, right? I mean, they
Sure.
sort of, but it was, but that maybe they're saving it. But I
They'll cross paths again for sure, but maybe they're like saving it for like a better. I don't know.
I
Yeah, I
want
feel
to
like
see
now
Ronda and
Becky
Shayna
Lynch
though.
turning face again. It might like lean closer to like it happening again because Ronda needs to be the heel if they do have another match.
Mhm. We get a promo from Paul Heyman, and he is talking about Extreme Rules, which is going to be live
See,
in
just
Philadelphia.
letting you know, guys, I didn't watch it live, but like all these things that you're saying, I didn't see any of that.
Yep, he does. He pretty much gives a promo for Extreme Rules. And because
Oh,
it's in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and so that's the home of VCW,
did they keep horror show or they took out horror show?
they took out horror show. It's just called Extreme Rules.
Okay.
Um, it's going to be Saturday, October 8th, a day after my birthday, October 8th, 2022. And of course, it's funny because Corey Graves made a comment like, oh, they must have filmed that before Paul Heyman got F5 through the table. It's like, no, he filmed it yesterday.
Corey be making some smart comments. I
He's been doing
swear.
stuff. We then get a promo for Worlds Collide, and we have a match that I was looking forward to. Dory was too, because we had just watched the Rey Mysterio biography episode. Those are really great because they give you more information on the people, and you sort of when you get to know them more, you sort of root for them more. So in this particular in this particular match, we have Judgment Day, the team of Finn Balor and Damian Priest with Rhea Ripley taking on the team of Edge and Rey Mysterio with Dominic. And Edge comes out wearing a mask that everyone keeps making fun of, saying that he's pretty much doing everything possible right now. And here are some notes. Ray nails a moonsault off of Edge's shoulders onto the Judgment Day outside the ring, which was really cool because it reminded me of that move that he did back in '02. Priest spits gum at Edge, and then Balor lands an axe kick to Rey Mysterio, and he gets two. Ray drops Priest over the railing on his balls. He's a little uncomfortable there. Edge then takes control of Judgment Day and he lands an execution to Finn Balor. Ray hits a Sea of Senton to Priest outside, and then Edge hits a 619 to Balor. Ray nails a springboard splash, but Priest breaks it up. Edge spears Damian Priest off the apron to the outside. Rhea Ripley then attacks Dominic outside the ring. However, Ray dives onto Dominic, which then sends Rhea into the railing. Bye bye, Rhea. I'm tired of her. And the ending comes when Dominic grabs Balor's boot. Ray hits a 619, and then Edge lands a spear and gets a three. However, what happened after the match seemed to take more precedent than the actual match itself. Afterwards, Dominic gives Edge a hug. Well, he sort of like just embraces Edge, and then he hits Edge with a low blow. His shoe comes off, and then he decides to take off his other shoe. And then he goes to Edge, and he goes to Ray, and he apologizes to Ray. And then Dominic nails a huge clothesline to Rey Mysterio. Judgment Day starts to clap, and Dominic rips off his Mysterio family shirt and he walks off. Dominic doesn't walk away with the Judgment Day. He walks off on his own. And then after Ray apologizes to Edge and the two embrace and they raise each other's hands. Edge has a warning out for Dominic for Monday Night Raw. What did you think?
Wait, warning?
He has a warning. He basically said that he's going to be coming after Dominic on Raw.
Okay. No, I really enjoyed this. I've been waiting for this to happen for weeks already, months actually. But I'm glad Dominic's finally taking some charge and
Yeah.
some control in himself because I feel like since like he's came in, he's been always like behind his daddy, like always like on his like his dad's always been on his like on his what like all the time everywhere. But like now he's gonna take some charge. He's on his own. Let's see what he can do on his own.
Mm.
And I don't think he should be like part of Judgment Day. I think he should do his own thing. See what happens. He's got potential, and now that he's like on his own and he's a bad guy, we'll like see what. I really hope that this like he takes his whole family into this, like his like mom, the sister, all that they all try to like get some answers from him and sit. And I'm just wait. I'm just hoping that Dominic says, "I wish Eddie was my real father" or something. I want him to like get personal like that. So,
Well,
yeah, I want.
what I learned, and this is something really cool, and I didn't know about this, when I was little, when the storyline was actually happening, was the whole sort of like beginning genesis of it was that Eddie had actually had an affair on his wife a while ago, and the storyline is that the affair was with Ray's wife. So
Mm,
he really did so, and I guess people really thought it was true because they knew that Eddie did have an affair on his wife, but they didn't know who with. So it could have
mm.
been Ray's Dominic's mom that he had an affair with, but we don't know. Obviously, we know it's not true, but great storyline. And I did like seeing Dominic turn this way. I said to Tyler, and again, you could check this out in the archives of the prediction. I thought it would have been stupid. I predicted that Edge and Ray were going to win because I thought it would have been stupid had um Judgment Day win and then have Dominic attack Ray and Edge because it wouldn't make sense. Whereas with Edge and Ray winning, um, you know, it just adds an element to it. So I'm excited to see what Dominic's response to why he did what he did. Um, but I like the seeds that were planted, and it looks like Edge is going to try to, take on Dom. However, this isn't going to happen. But wouldn't it be a cool twist if Ray actually sided with Dom and turned on Edge and was like, you know, my son messed up, but this is my son. You don't know me if you think I'm gonna turn on my kid and attack him and beat
Yeah,
him.
that's what I was telling you before. Like before we even like got online, like it would be cool. Like see, like we never seen Ray actually turn heel before.
Mm-hmm.
Like that would be something cool too.
Yeah, definitely. Well, this is cool. We get our attendance record of 62,296 people live in Cardiff, Wales to see all of these WWE wrestlers compete, including these two, and a match that I've been waiting for. I know you have been. Seth Rollins taking on Matt Riddle. And
Yeah, probably my favorite match of the card. The
their
whole yeah.
attires were funny. You have Riddle coming out kind of looking like a Patrick Star, kind of with
Yeah.
the, and then you
I couldn't
got
I couldn't get over Seth's attire though, coming out with like the little wings and the freaking
he was paying homage to Elton John because Elton John had he wore that same outfit back in the 70s to a concert,
Oh
and
wow.
Rollins is killing it. So we have time for me to go over the results of the match, sort of what happened, and then we'll come back with our last break of the night, and then we'll finish with the main event. So here are some notes first: Seth Rollins versus Matt Riddle. Riddle and Rollins land blows after blows to one another. Rollins power bombs Riddle hard into the barricade outside of the ring. And then Rollins nails a Falcon Arrow to Riddle and he gets a two. Riddle nails a Fisherman's Buster to Rollins, who jumps from the top rope. He catches him. Riddle nails a floating bro to Seth off the top rope to the outside of the ring. Riddle applies a triangle choke. However, Seth hits Riddle with his own move, the Bro Derek, and he gets a two. Rollins lands a pedigree and he gets a two. Rollins then nails Riddle with the Randy Orton draping DDT. Riddle
I love that part. I love how Seth Rollins played that off.
Seth Rollins didn't come to play. Riddle then goes to hit Seth with a chair. outside. However, Seth is able to land a stomp to Riddle outside. And then this is a cool moment. Seth jumps off the top rope and lands a stomp, and he gets a 3. I predicted Rollins to win this one. Did you think the right guy won? And do you think we're going to see them fight again? I have a feeling we're going to see them fight again at Extreme Rules. But what did you think of the match? I mean, Rollins got the clean win. Did you think it lived up to the hype?
Okay, so here's my. I love the match. The match was great. No issues with it at all. I think it over delivered actually.
Mm,
But so I'm happy Seth Rollins got the win because when's the last time he got a pay per view win? Like I don't even remember when
it's been a
last time he got
while.
even. Yeah, but actually 15 months. I actually saw it said 15. There's like that post that said 15 months since his last win at a pay per view. But it's like okay, so Seth Rollins talks shit about Riddle's wife, and then like he mentions like the divorce and all that, and then you're gonna have Seth Rollins even win at the pay per view. It's like they had like no. I feel like that should have set, and then he even mentions it during the match.
Yeah.
I feel like that should have set Riddle off to win the match. Honestly, I'm happy Seth won, but
Yeah.
I feel like Seth got all the like the moments. Like he talked about his wife, talked about his kids. Then
Yeah.
even during the match, he talked about his wife and the kids, and like he curbs on Riddle every like through the steel steps every time. I feel like Riddle should have won the match, honestly. So,
Or
you know,
maybe Riddle could have snapped and like attacked him
no.
relentlessly with a
I feel
chair
like
or
Riddle should
something.
have had like a clean win because like okay, Seth Rollins gets like the win on Raw with the promo because Seth Rollins definitely won that promo 100%, right? That promo battle that they
Yeah.
had,
Yeah.
like he definitely won that, and then like I don't know, I feel like Riddle should have like he should have had the momentum to win because he had to deal with all that shit. Then even Rollins even mentioned it during the match too. That should have set Riddle off right there. I mean, it kind of did,
But
but you know, Riddle
you
didn't
made a
win.
good point though. Your point earlier was that Seth Rollins keeps losing. And
I know,
if
but it's I don't know. It's
I
like
hear you, I think that what they should have
he's
done,
usually I think about it, like whoever gets like the upper hand like on the Raw or SmackDown
yeah,
before the pay per view, usually the other person wins.
yeah, that's
But
usually
I
what happens.
but
I
I'm
think
happy Seth Rollins win. I'm not saying I'm not happy about it. It's just I feel like Riddle like should it wouldn't have hurt Seth Rollins to like lose this match. Honestly, he could
I
have won
agree.
he could have won the next one
I
if they
agree.
could have continued the feud and like because usually when Seth Rollins loses he blacks out and then like the next night he's like look at Cody like when he did that thing with like, when Cody went to Hell in the Cell. Seth Rollins was like acted like he was cool with him, but he came back out and hit him with sledgehammer. That Seth Rollins up. He was still around, and Cody was out for a little longer than he was supposed to. But like I don't know. I'm happy Seth won. I'm not saying I'm not, but like I feel like since like Seth like got all like he's been on the upper hand of Riddle, right? He's been getting the
Hang on,
better of him.
Carlos. Keep that thought. I don't want you to get cut out. We're going to take a quick break. And then, like I said, hold on to that thought. And we're going to come back. And I want to hear exactly your finished thoughts on that. I don't want it to cut
Okay.
out on you. We'll be right back, everybody. Stay tuned. And welcome back. Before we continue talking about the Seth Rollins Matt Riddle match and our main event, the rest of the card, I want to thank you for checking us out. We are again the Uncensored Pro Wrestling Podcast, and we are have been giving you our uncensored take and thoughts since 2020. Can you believe, dude? It's been that long.
I think crazy. We're building
20.
a family here.
I was just looking at, and I'll send it to you soon. It's been a year, I think, that we were at.
I think our first thing that we did was like the watch along.
What? Yeah,
We were watching like a Bret Hart match or something.
something like that. But I do know that next,
It was
well,
SummerSlam matches, but like we were like, oh,
This upcoming Sunday, it's going to be a year that you and I met in person for that Madison Square Garden show.
oh, shoot, really?
Yep, and this Sunday it'll be a year, September 11th. Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
believe it. I'll send you some pics from that night. You got some good shots I got of you holding the
I
Universal
have one
title.
too of you. Yeah, I
Yeah,
have a picture of you too with the belt. But that
listen.
guy let us borrow. Like he let us borrow it for that day. Like
Hmm.
just for the picture.
Uh, all right. So we were talking about Seth winning. You know, you were giving me your opinion how you thought that Riddle should have won this one. And you said that it was a great match, which I agree with. Do you think? What do you think is next for them? Really quick, do you think? Because we do
I
know
hope
they're
the
probably going
rivalry's
to
not
fight.
over. 'Cause I feel like there's more like it like bring into the rivalry. I feel like it shouldn't be done yet. Honestly,
I genuinely would.
Even though Seth didn't cheat to win, like he won clean, literally. So
Yeah,
like Riddle has nothing really to say, but like all he
yeah.
could do is maybe like try to like convince him for another match or something. It's not like Riddle. It's not like Seth cheated or anything. If he
Well, that,
cheated to win, then like Riddle would have a legitimate reason to be like, oh, I want a rematch. But like now
I,
it's gonna be a little harder because you know how Seth is. He's not gonna like just have a say yes to a rematch right away.
yeah, and I think like they kind of stepped in the doo doo with this situation because it's almost like you said, why are they going to fight again? What's going to be the purpose if they had a
And I feel like if
disqualification?
Riddle won, they would have a reason because you know how Seth gets when he loses.
Yep,
He gets all
yep.
depressed. He blacks out, and he like just like takes us to another level. And then like give you an example. He lost to Cody at Backlash, right?
Yep,
And then
yep,
like the next night he costed Cody the U.S. title match, and he
yep.
like curved something onto the table. So it's like whenever Seth loses, something always happens. But like with Seth winning, it's gonna be a little harder for Seth to like try to get like for Riddle to get a rematch now. You know,
Well, we'll see. I mean, the in my eyes,
it might be like a situation like the John Cena Rusev thing. Like remember when Rusev kept on saying no, and then John Cena like had him in SCF to like Lana said yes or something. Like it might be something like that, or I don't know, a little different.
could be. I don't know, but I definitely think that they probably will fight again. In
I
terms of
hope they
how
do.
or why, I don't know.
Like maybe Riddle could say something about Becky again, or
That's what I was thinking. Maybe something like that because again, there's really a
once you talk about Seth, obviously you could see last week on Raw. Once you say something about Becky about Seth's family, he'll murder you in the in a microphone.
sure will. But yeah,
Don't
we
say
do
nothing
think
about
this.
Becky because who that man loves his wife.
I would too. Have you seen The Wife? Um, so yes. So basically that is the that match. There's really not much more to go on. We'll have to find out on Raw what's next for these two. But yes, Seth Rollins wins clean here. We then get a promo for Becky Lynch. We see from earlier on in the night Tyson Fury meeting with Roman Reigns backstage. We then pan out to the crowd and we see Karrion Kross and Scarlett are there ready for the main event. And we are at our main event now, the Undisputed Championship. Roman Reigns defending the title against Drew McIntyre. And we get a really cool entrance for Drew. We hear his Broken Dream song. We get a package of Drew from when he's young all the way up until he wins the titles. And
I
then
was kind of mad that they didn't use him actually for the entrance. Like I feel like they should have used it like he like him walk down actually to the music. But I
I
thought it was kind
think
of like worthless. Like I hated that they did that. Like I
his
feel like it would
new
have been.
song though is very like it's like a battle song. Like
No, I know, but like I feel like it would have been perfect if they just had him walk down to the ring with that music like slow motion like he used to, and
could
like I don't know. I feel like that would have been like
these
cooler. But
broken dreams. I dream them for you.
were you surprised when you heard it?
And nah, because he had said on the bump that he said that for a certain show he would have a surprise with that song, and I kind of knew they were gonna do something with it. I wasn't sure how. But let's get to the actual match here, though. Both men trade blows.
One
Drew
thing though, like
Cross-
the crowd was definitely against Roman Reigns. Like Roman Reigns is literally like that's the heel. You're supposed to hate. You're supposed to hate the person, and the whole
Mhm.
crowd hated Roman. Like you could tell, like everybody fucking like they were on Roman's ass. Like they were just on like God, it's terrible. That's how
Roman
you
was
book a
not
heel
getting away
though.
with it.
Yeah,
He was
and he
not.
had nobody by his side at first.
Nope. Well, let's get on with it. So they trade blows. Drew tosses Reigns into the steps. We then see someone toss a water bottle at Drew, and the camera pans over, and it was Karrion Kross. And Drew was like pissed, which distracts him, and then Roman attacks from behind. Roman then nails a bunch of clotheslines in the corner, and he sends Drew's shoulder first into the ring post. Reigns nails a big boot, and he gets a 1 count. Drew then chops Reigns, but Reigns is able to take advantage. Reigns then grabs the microphone and he tells Carter to acknowledge him. However, Drew lands a Glasgow kiss to Reigns. Drew then nails a belly to belly to Roman off the top rope and then a spine buster, which gets a 2 count. Roman hits Drew with a rock bottom and he gets a 2. Drew then ends up nailing Roman with a future shock DDT. Drew tosses Roman shoulder first into the ring post, and it looked like Reigns was hurt there. However, Drew is able to nail a spear to Roman Reigns through the guard railing. Reigns spears Drew, which gets a 2, which gets a true. And then Drew nails a claymore to Roman's back, sending the referee down. Then Austin Theory runs out with his briefcase. However, before he can do anything, Tyson Fury knocks out Theory from the crowd. Drew nails a claymore to Roman Reigns, which gets a 2. And then he nails another claymore to Roman. However, a man with a hood comes out. He pulls the referee outside of the ring, and that distracts Drew, which then allows Roman to nail a spear, and he gets a 3. And the mystery hooded man is Roman's cousin and the Usos' younger brother, Solo Sikoa. He was able to help Reigns get the win. And after Tyson Fury goes face to face with Reigns, he stares him down and he shakes Reigns' hand. But it doesn't mean that Fury is done with Reigns. Just a little sign of respect from the two there. And then Reigns leaves and Tyson grabs the microphone and he says, Drew, all of these people came to see you. You've done your country proud. I can only think of one thing that we should do. And he and Drew sing American Pie. They start to sing some more songs. And Drew says, it didn't go the way I thought. My island didn't let me down. That's what Drew's talking. He says, Fury, we never give up. I will get my hands on those titles. Let's party. Drew sings some more songs, and he says, I love you to the crowd. Yep.
Still there?
Yes,
Why
sir.
you
I'm here.
pause? You just paused for a second. I'm like, what? Was that my turn to talk?
No, I was just no. I got caught off guard because I had seen something in my notes that didn't make sense, and it didn't make sense. So, but yes, it is your turn to talk. So, talk about the match and then the aftermath.
The match was great. Like they definitely delivered like they should have. I was glad to see that they finally brought up. I mean, I've been hearing for weeks that Solo Sikoa was coming up to the main roster, and so like it kind of wasn't. It kind of was a surprise, and what kind of wasn't. Like it was just a matter of time, like see when it was gonna happen. But knowing that the Usos weren't there, like it knew something was gonna happen. You know, they needed backup, and there they go. But and then after the match, I just turned it off. Once Roman got off the screen, I turned it off because I wasn't like I knew that part that like the singing part wasn't for us. That was like for the crowd. That wasn't for us wrestling fans, honestly. Did you
Sweet Caroline, ba ba ba.
stay for that part?
Yeah, good
I did.
times
I turned it off.
never seem so
Once Roman
good.
got off, once Roman walked away, I turned it off. But
I've been
that's all. That's all.
inclined, ba ba ba, to believe never would.
You really
Oh,
enjoyed that, huh?
oh, oh. I sure did. But it was fun. But I do hear what you're saying. It's kind of weird for Roman to have a battle like, or not Roman, Drew to have a battle brawl like that. And then
And
it's
then
like, okay,
sing.
let's sing. And it's all right. I'm gonna get my tail in the hands. Bye, bye, Miss American Pie. I was just like, oh, okay. This is what we're doing now. It's American Idol. Uh, I was
Yeah.
ready for it, I guess. So did you think the match though was all it set out to be? What did you think of Sokoa showing up?
I like that a lot. I'm excited to see what happens next. Oh, I can't wait to see some interactions with his brothers to see what's going
I
on with that.
have a feeling that with Sokoa being here, he is gonna add an extra element to Sami Zayn being pushed out of the group more and more, which is gonna piss Sami off. Shenanigans is gonna happen, and mark my words, before we know it, we are going to see Sami Zayn versus Roman Reigns. I'm
You
telling
really want to see that, huh? You really pushing for that.
there's nothing better than seeing someone because it happens to all of us. We all get screwed over either on purpose or by accident. We're either too giving to a friend or we're more loving to our partner than our partner is to us. We've gotten used before. We've gotten shit on. Everyone can understand
Yeah,
that. And the
sure.
fact that you see Sammy trying to do everything to get Roman's care, respect, love, and no matter what Sammy does, even if he helps Roman, it's not good enough. And I think that that's a good, for me, I've been there where I felt like I've given everything to a friend or to like a loved one and I didn't receive anything back. And I felt that hurt and that anger and that feeling of like there's a funny thing where I was upset with a friend and it wasn't you, Carlos, it was a different friend. It wasn't you. Uh, I had sent it was a meme, and it's Batista yelling at Ray Chook saying, "You're supposed to be my friend." And
Oh my
um,
God, yeah. You were
I said,
supposed to be my friend.
I said that that was me,
Ah,
but
yeah,
we've
that
all
was
been
hilarious. The
we've all
way he
been through that.
screams,
Yeah,
like
you're
he was
supposed
like,
to be
"You're
my friend.
supposed to be my friend."
That's me when I get mad at
Ah.
people. But like it's an easy storyline that most people can connect to, and just Sammy's delivery, the way everyone's loved it when he stands up for
You're
himself,
supposed to be my
everyone is going to go
friend.
nuts. Everyone's going to go hard.
Ah.
So yeah, I do want to see Sammy versus Roman down the line, but I do like this extra element of Sokoa being added. It was funny though because a lot of people there. I saw this meme running around, and it's pictures of Bray Wyatt, Charlotte Flair, Braun Strowman, and it says expectations, and then it says reality, and it shows you Solo Sokoa. It's just like oh okay. Um, but of course, WWE is going to surprise us. I I I figured they weren't going to have a huge surprise at this pay per view. I thought there might have been a little surprise, but all in all, I thought it was a good pay per view. I thought it got us, where we need to go. We're going to see some new storylines. It looks like we're going to see a Bailey versus Bianca down the line. Obviously, we're going to see another Ronda versus Liv. It looks like Dominic and Edge and Ray have a lot of talking to do on Raw. Solo Sokoa is now a part of this faction with Roman Reigns. What is he going to add to that layer of it? Just so much to look forward to with the aftermath of this pay per view. Carlos, before we go, what was your match of the night and what do you rate this pay per view?
I think Riddle versus Rollins for sure, and then Sheamus versus Gunther in second place.
Yes, they killed it. I thought that those matches were bomb. I agree. For me, my favorite matches were Gunther versus Sheamus and Rollins versus Riddle, but I also kind of liked the Edge and Ray match.
Oh really?
Yeah, I thought it was fun. They added a little bit of like nostalgia to it for me. Like I remember I said to Ray when they did that move where Ray springboarded off of Edge's shoulders. I was like, I remember when he did that at No Mercy. So it was cool to see the parallels there. But yeah, our next pay-per-view will be Extreme Rules, and that is the day after my birthday, October 8th, 2022. It will be a Saturday live on Peacock. And Raw's War this Monday has a lot happening. The United States Championship on the line, Bobby Lashley versus The Miz in a steel cage match.
You can say Raw's War.
Did I say Raw's War?
Yes.
Oh, there we go. I feel like I'm back in the Attitude years. No, Monday Night. We're in this decade, everybody. Um, yeah, so lots happening on Raw. And yeah, SmackDown's going to be good. A lot to come. Carlos, thank you for joining me. I want everyone to have a good and safe rest of your week. And we will see you with our Monday Night Raw recap. Who will be champion? Will it be Lashley or Miz? Find out with our next recap. Bye, everybody.
See you guys.